Welcome to Visual Testaments. We're Tim and Dawna Avery. Make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned to the very end of this because we are talking about strengthening your marriage.
Yes, I think it's important, especially in the biblical foundation of truth. Especially if you're Christians, you definitely want to do this. But also, I would even say if you're kind of on the fence with that, and you found this channel, I want you guys to know that there are the ways to identify some strengths that your spouse has, and once you identify those strengths, then help them flourish in that. And once they help them flourish in that, trust them with that gift and allow them to leverage that gift in your marriage. And I think those are things we'll kind of expound about. We'll help expound about those gifts, so that way you guys can operate in those gifts and have a strong marriage. And so, anyway, so let's talk about the first one: identifying the strengths in your spouse.
Yeah, first step.
Is identifying the strengths in your spouse.
So good.
So there's so many strengths that we both have. There's so many.
You do have some good ones.
Yeah, and so we have to understand, like, our strengths aren't, like, first of all, let me just say this: we are not competing. Like, we should not be competing against our spouse.
No.
Well, nobody should be fighting who's right or who's wrong.
No.
It shouldn't be that. It should be understanding, like, we both have different perspectives.
Yeah.
And so those perspectives come from a strength that we operate in, and so. So when operating in those strengths, like, for instance, like I'm a saver, and Dawna is definitely a spender. I'll say it like this.
Thanks, honey.
So, but there's times when we need to be able to spend. There's obviously a time that we need to save.
Thank goodness you're a saver.
Yeah, and so it's important that we balance each other out. So there shouldn't really be arguments. It should be understanding you guys are on the same page with the same goals. And once you have the same financial goals that you're trying to accomplish, you guys are on one accord with that. All you have to do is bring to the surface the goals that you guys are trying to accomplish and go from there and establish, okay, what we need to spend money on, because I think it's important that Dawna seeks value in certain things to have certain things. And once she sees the value of those things, I should understand. It's like, okay, if she sees the value in that thing, then obviously then we need those things, then we need to get that.
Shout out to the spenders.
Yeah.
Shout out to the savers.
Yeah.
Let us know if you are a saver or a spender. But yeah, I'm glad you are such a good saver, because that's one of the things I can count on is he has his whole Dave Ramsey electronically set up. If you don't know what we're talking about, make sure you comment and we can send that to you. He is fabulous at it. But I wanted to just point out too that you definitely have identified the strengths in me, and you bring out some really good areas of being able to give me space to operate in my strength. One of which is discerning. Yes,
discerning. Yep, and that's one thing that I'm getting stronger in. But I'm only stronger in that because I see that gift in Dawna, and understanding how that gift is utilized through Dawna. So that's one thing I also say is that, like, once you identify the gifts and strengths that your spouse has, because you understand how that works or how the gifting operates, then you start to get strong on your own gifting in that. And so Dawna has a strong gift of discernment. She has a strong gift of prophecy. She has a strong gift in interpreting dreams. And so if I have a dream, because you guys have been on our channel, I'll film you guys, and see, a lot of time I have dreams and she interprets them. Sometimes I don't even know what these dreams mean, and she just breaks down the dream, and I'm like, wow, and give her space to do that, because I want to trust and lean on her strength to be able to operate in her gifting. Now, when it comes to discernment, I'll just kind of give you this quick little funny story, like in the past of what has happened.
You guys, go ahead and check out visualtestaments.com to shop all of our VT Mission merch. Check out our hot collections, like our Delivered line. You can pick out the laptop sleeve, a fanny pack, hey, even this tote bag. Go ahead and add the tote bag to your shopping cart. And 100% of our proceeds go to the VT Mission. So go ahead and add that to cart. And the cool thing about this is you can actually continue shopping. And for example, this laptop sleeve, just $22.22. Once you've added everything to your shopping cart, simply go through the checkout process, add your shipping, and then click on text me news and offers. We want to text those to you and keep you up to date. Share this with a friend, and thanks for shopping visualtestaments.com.
Growing up with my walk with the Lord, it's been an interesting one. And so when I first got saved and we were really getting serious with our walk with the Lord, we would go up to the front of the altar and get prayer, and then obviously the situation would change. Other people would come up to the altar and they would need prayer and things like that. And so Dawna would whisper to me if there's a guy down there with his kneel down and crying or whatever, and And she kind of whispers over to me. She's like, hey, God told me to tell you that you need to pray for that guy right there. I'm like, well, he didn't tell me, so I'm not going to do it. You know, that type of thing. And so it's interesting how now I trust that gift because like today it's totally different. Like we've had this other experience. Like we were at a pizza place and some guy, kind of same situation. He was just kind of sitting by himself. He was just crying and weeping and all this stuff. And then Donald leans over to me. He's like, that guy, I think you just need to go pray and talk to that guy over there because he's literally crying. And I just kind of took that for a second, looked, understanding I know my wife's gifting of discernment. She hears from the Lord. And I walked over there and just kind of extended my hand, just, hey man, just wanted to pray with you. Is that all right? He just extended, saying like, absolutely. And he was just telling me all this stuff going on with his family, with his life, with his wife and all this stuff. And it was just a beautiful time. And so it's just understanding the strengths that our spouses have. And when we operate in that, our marriage becomes stronger when we realize that my spouse has a strength that I don't have. But if I lean into that strength, now that strength becomes mine because what the Lord said that we are one, right? And so if we operate and understand that we have different gifts and strengths, then let's partner together, seriously partner together and operate in those gifts.
So what he doesn't realize is I've actually been getting better at saving because I've been watching him. I know we went on a vacation recently and he's like, wait a minute, you had some savings? I'm like, I know. So yes, he's right about the whole two become one and really being able to watch your spouse and learn from them. So I just love that, being able to give space to really watch our spouses flourish in their giftings.
Got to create that space, got to cultivate that, encourage them in that gift, because you want to be stronger as a marriage couple, you know, especially if you're doing ministry. But just in the day-to-day too. That doesn't necessarily just mean just for ministry, but understand, like if your spouse has better organizational strengths, let them organize the stuff that they want to organize. Help them in that, you know. Help them follow the rules that they're trying to create in that. I mean, obviously you want to do that, you know. And if there's somebody's better at cleaning up or somebody's better at whatever, let them operate in those strengths. You know, we shouldn't have to, you know, fight each other about, you know, particular roles that each spouse should to take. If they are strong in those gifts, let them operate in those gifts.
So good. So make sure, number one, when you're strengthening your marriage, to identify the strengths in your spouse. Number two, cultivate an environment for that gifting to flourish. Encourage it, in fact. And number three, trust their gift. Yield to the Lord and say, you know what, I see this in my spouse. Is that correct? And what should I do to help trust and encourage that gifting? Anything else?
I would just say, and just to kind of expound more on that and just trusting their gift, then know that gift is going to help you guys flourish and become more one and more unified. And you're going to see how beautiful your marriage becomes.
It's helped
stronger, becomes healthier, helps more intimate. Absolutely. Because once your spouse realizes that you trust them and the gift that they have, man, you're married. They trust you, and they trust that that you have their best interest in mind because you want them to see them flourish and you want them to see them grow. So it's amazing. So hope this helps. Comment in the section below, and we'd love to hear from you guys. We will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.